It's time for the once decade car wash, and that means I've got to walk around and figure out where I need to take it. So I'm walking to two that I know that are nearby, and I'm seeing what you get for certain amounts of money. And yeah, got the day off today, so I got up at a normal time and like got ready at like a normal rate. But then instead of going for a walk before work, I went to the gym because obviously I don't have work. So I went, did a load of treadmill and some weight stuff. I might not be able to go tomorrow because we're going for a wedding. I've got a shitload of time tomorrow morning, so I don't know why. But I think Laura's going to be stressing a little bit, so I feel like I'm going to be pressured into not going because she's going to be stressing. I think I've got time to go swimming, so I probably will go, to be honest with you. So yeah, this is number one of a couple of errands I've got to run today, but otherwise it's a relatively chilled out day. I bought an iPad mini and that arrived today, although its case and pencil will be arriving in a couple of days. And I'm just setting it up this morning. I got back from the gym, had a cup of tea and was setting it up. And I can't remember the last time. Obviously, the last two phones I bought were both Pixels. But I cannot remember the last time that I bought a phone that had this much just garbage bloatware installed on it. I'm like, what's all this trash? And obviously, never used an iPhone, literally never owned one. I had an iPod Touch. That was the last iOS device I had. But god damn it, they complicated, man. I don't know. It's taken me a while to figure out like how everything works. I don't know why they have a reputation for just being like easy to recommend to people, because they're simple. They're not simple at all. Everything's like hidden away. They really don't want you to change defaults for stuff. But I am like trying to effectively Googlify it and take away anything Apple on it, because I don't want it to be I don't want to be locked in, you know. Here's a challenge. I want it to be able to be cross-platform with the iPad, my Google phone and my Windows computer, which is like the last thing Apple wants. So I'm having great fun. It took me ages to figure out how to get LastPass to just auto-fill stuff, because it just happens by magic on Android. But now you've got to dig into some settings somewhere. So right, iPads just make me feel stupid. So like there's this slide over thing with widgets in it, yeah? And if I like press and hold this one, I can like do stuff to it and edit it and whatnot. But this welcome to iPad one doesn't do shit. You click edit, it's got a little nubbin on it. You press that button, it doesn't do shit. It just makes me feel stupid. I'm like, why is that there? I have to Google that. It is absolutely tipping it down outside. Our car looks super shiny. Now it's just getting rained on, so sad times really. I am getting my gym bag ready for tomorrow. We had, what's going on today? I've been fiddling around, obviously, with the iPad, trying to get it set up. It's odd, because it's one of those things where, like, when you get a new phone, you're like, oh, I'm excited to get a new phone. And then you're like, oh, yeah, it's just a new phone, isn't it? It's just exactly like my previous phone. So I'm kind of like, I don't really know what to do with it, because it's just like the Nexus, but kind of not set up. So I'm just trying to set it up for like notes and stuff. I'm trying to set it up to be like a bit more productive, because there's like a kind of note-taking aspect of it that I want to use it for, and then like the kind of entertainment stuff. Although not reading, just like, although it would probably be very good for reading. Things like, use your words, Jimmy. Things like YouTube and like Netflix and stuff. Like, and games when I'm on the train, that kind of thing, really. Are we wearing that? Yeah, that makes sense to wear. Otherwise, we've taken the cat to the cattery, because we're not going to be here tomorrow. We're going to pick him up Wednesday evening. What else is happening? Otherwise, just tinkered around, played a couple of games, living the dream. Sorted out a video. It was a 4K video, and the title that puts like the automated bit that puts the date is putting it where it would on a 1080p video, which is like halfway up the frame. Hopefully I'll fix that by the time this video comes out. Probably not though. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back from the wedding. It's the day after. My voice is gone. I honestly cannot tell you why my throat is so shit right now. I just kind of like can't talk, basically. I don't personally think I was even talking that much at the thing, because I struggle talking a lot, you know. But yeah, I'll give you the rundown of the wedding tomorrow when hopefully my voice is back. Today has been a case of get back, get the cat back, get the cat back, chill out. We've had fish finger sandwiches for lunch when we got back because we don't have any breakfast. I had a Domino's pizza for thingy in the evening. I've been playing Satisfactory, just relaxing. We just finished watching Harry Potter marathon. We've watched them all now. And yeah, so it's back to work tomorrow. Ugh. Do not feel like I should have taken a whole week off. I've got enough holiday to do it, to be honest. But we are going to bed early. We had a really long day yesterday and quite a long day today as well. Obviously we didn't get back till stupid late last night, and we slept in a fucking travel lodge. So, i.e. we didn't fucking sleep. So I feel quite bad, but I've bailed on the gym this morning. I'd like got everything ready, my alarm went off and I was like awake. But I decided to set an alarm for an hour later and try and go back to sleep. I didn't really go back to sleep. My voice isn't any better, really. Well, it's a bit better, it feels better, but I can hear it sounds bad still. And like the longer I talk, the worse it gets as well. But so I'm just trying to lubricate it out on a walk with you guys. I've swapped the gym for a walk. My logic being that like, I kind of just want to settle in. When I go to the gym on a Thursday, like as much as I get back in time to start work, like it is a bit more rushed. And I need to have a shave. I need to just kind of like reset my, you know what I mean? I need to get like back in the groove, and doing that isn't getting back and rushing to have breakfast so that I can log on and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to try and go back to sleep, try and rest up. My throat felt bad this morning, but obviously I'd not had a drink or anything. So like I say, it's much better now. I just want to say, I bought these Allbirds as like a scenario wet, where if it's wet I'll wear these. I was starting to wear them all the time now. So we'll see how that goes. If there's any risk of rain, I'll wear them. And like for walks and stuff I wear them, but I wear Converse for other things. The problem is, what other things? It's nearly always raining for one, and I don't really have a social life. But anyway, the wedding, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, we looked fantastic. I'm very happy with my suit. I think I nailed it. Like, I could have just bought like a normal standard matching suit, but I kind of went a little bit out there and had like a bit of a jazzy, not jazzy jacket, but like but it was really fucking smart. I nailed it, and I had like smart trousers still. I was pretty happy with that. My shoes, great. Outfit, perfect. I don't think I've ever worn a suit and gone, oh yeah, I could wear this again. So I'm happy. Everything fits perfect. Great. I just gotta not like lose or gain weight. So getting there was a bit of a palaver. Like, we booked a taxi a long time ago, but that taxi didn't arrive, so we ended up having to share a taxi with someone else who just happened to be going to the same wedding. But it was near Stonehenge, so there wasn't really much going on. Like, basically there's like 3 hotels and everyone from those hotels are going to the wedding. So, but it was a really nice wedding. We've been to 2 weddings now. This is the second. The first one was a bit of a like really big like religious, to be honest it was a bit of a culty wedding gonna be honest. Like, it was huge, and it was like 2 houses that are run by the church. 2 people from each of those houses, the boys' house and the girls' house, getting married, and it was massive. This was like a lot more like posh. It was like a proper wedding venue place, and they got like a nice like 3 different, like the house, the like bit where you get married. Like, it was just really nice. It was also like on near a military base, and like during the day there's like just Chinook helicopters coming over, and we're just outside talking. There's literal tank fire. I've never heard a tank fire before. And as we're driving to the place, the taxi driver's like, well, I'm gonna go up this road and just cross my fingers we don't come across a tank. There's just tanks rolling around, like on the road. It's fucking crazy. And there's like signs that say like risk of fire, like as if the tanks are just casually firing over the roads, and if the risk is in the red area and you drive down it, and if you get blown up, then it's your fucking fault, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, we didn't actually see any tanks, but bloody heard them. They're loud. But yeah, that was pretty sick. But yeah, it was a really nice wedding. Like, it was like properly, out of the 2 weddings, the first one really put us off. We were like, oh god, the weddings are horrendous. That wedding was actually really nice. I don't think we're sold on the idea of weddings yet. And to be honest, like, I was actually really like, it messed me up a bit, like, mentally, because I'm a fragile little flower these days. It's like a really like happy day or whatever, but every now and again you like, when they're doing the speeches, I'm like, I don't know this many people, let alone like this many people in the room. Everyone's saying really nice things in the speeches. I'm like, we really can't see ourselves getting married, which is so bizarre, because we absolutely see ourselves spending our whole lives together, but like the act of having a wedding day just doesn't appeal. And Laura's all right with that. Like, she's more like okay with that than I am. I kind of feel like we're missing out if we don't, you know. And I think half of the problem, we've been together for like 12 years now, like half of the problem with the later you go, when do you do it? Everyone we know that's got married have been together for like 3 or 4 years, which I think is the sweet spot, you know. Whereas like we've been together for 12, like what significant life event has to happen for us to be like, yeah, let's spend a stupid amount of money on a party. But yeah, so like as they're doing it, I'm just kind of, part of me is kind of thinks it's really sad that it makes me realize like how solitary I am and how like I've isolated myself from everyone. Like, it's that whole thing, like day to day I'm like really happy, I'm happy with what I've done, but I've like effectively isolate myself from my entire family more or less. Like, Dad's the only person I talk to and I see him like twice a year. I think because I move job quite a lot, I don't really have that many work friends either, to be honest. Especially not that I'd invite to the entire wedding. Like maybe the party at the end, but not the entire wedding. So, and yeah, I just kind of don't have any friends. Don't really have any close family. And they're just doing all the speeches and they're so fucking nice. And like, yeah, it's really weird because like, it's obviously a really like fucking happy day. And it's a really good party and really like nice wedding. But then part of you is like, god damn man, this isn't gonna be me though. But yeah, like I say, it was fucking brilliant though. We loved every moment of it. It was a really long day. It was like we got there at like 1:30 and we left early-ish at 10:30. People were starting to like, no, 11. People were starting to leave. You had to leave by 12 because they'd lock the gates. And I don't know, the army would roll in, who knows. We'd initially booked a taxi for 11:45, but we'd also booked a taxi to leave and that taxi never arrived. So we just booked another taxi and then went earlier, as it was like starting to teeter down. But me and Laura aren't really like, I'm so happy that me and Laura are so similar because we're not like dancers, we're not drinkers. So like halfway through we'd had enough to drink. We were fun. We were talking to one of Laura's workmates who was also invited. They were like who we were with the most of the time, and like I say, like, so we basically talked the whole thing, but I didn't think I was talking that much, but obviously my voice is shot, so obviously I was. But yeah, so really enjoyed it. It was a lovely wedding. You're not going to watch this video, thanks for watching. I can't upload it because of that one little clip that I needed to take. Until they've shared their like social media stuff, not that they'd ever know, but yeah. So standouts, our outfits great, couple were really cool, wedding's really cool, it was a lovely ceremony, whatever. But you're driving home and you're like, it's kind of sad. And it was to be fair, there was quite a lot of like sad speeches because the last like 2 years have been a bit of a shit show for both of them, with COVID and like old family members and stuff. What's weird is like, it's such a range of emotions because the wedding itself is really cool. Then you have like this little sad undertone about being like, what would this ever look like for us if we do it? And then you've also just absolutely knackered because it's such a long day. Yesterday, both of us are just like bumming around the house like pooped. And the bride and groom are driving to the fucking Scotland or some bullshit. Like, God knows how they're doing that. Oh, it looks so taxing being the bride and groom. You just walk around having to talk to everybody. Jesus. Yeah, neither of us can believe just how knackering it is. And we didn't do anything. We just sat around talking, really. Like when you look at what you did, you didn't really do much. But we're both absolutely knackered. And obviously we stayed in a hotel, so we didn't really sleep very well. And there was like stress getting there and all this shit. But yeah, so we're done now. Wedding season is on hold. There's one more wedding we've got next year that we know of, where Laura's going to be a bridesmaid. So that's going to be hard. Well, for her, I'm going to be chilling. But we know more people there, so I've never been to a wedding where I've known more than 2 people. Laura being one of those 2. Yeah, so but that'll be with like school friends. And there's a couple of like people who are expecting to get engaged soon. So we'll see. We're at that age now where weddings are just like a dime a dozen. And like I say, it's really confusing. I feel really confused about the whole idea because like it's something that I think I want to do. I don't think Laura's bothered. Like I legitimately don't think Laura actually wants to, but obviously she would, you know what I mean? Like I want to do it, but the idea of it doesn't appeal, and that's such a bizarre, and it doesn't appeal, and I don't think we could pull it off anywhere near as good as that was. Because basically we're both lonely people. We don't know anybody. We haven't got many friends, and we haven't got many family either. Like my family's big and I've isolated them all, and Laura's family is small. So, and really far away, and all of our friends are really far away. So it's kind of a bit of an odd one. But yeah, so we'll see. we'll see how it goes. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen, who knows? But yeah, yesterday we just kind of came back, sorted some stuff. Today I'm going for a nice long walk before I go, like I say, because I've skipped out on gymming. So I'm going for a long walk to like clear my head. Still starting late, finishing late. Laura's in the office. So I've got a shitload of podcasts to listen to. It kind of feels weird going back to work for only a day and a half. But I could not imagine if today was a Monday and having to go back for a full week after that fucking, the last 2-3 days. It'll be pooped, mate. But I need to figure out what walk I'm doing because I've got 45 minutes before I need to get back and don't know where I'm going. Forgive me if I've already said this, but yesterday we had Domino's delivered, right? And the guy came to deliver the pizza and he gave me 2 big dips. Like, you know, you can buy the bigger dips. And he passed them to me and I was like, oh, they must have like just, because they give you a little small one in the pizza case. And I was like, oh, they must just not do that anymore. They must just give you bigger ones. These are a bit excessive, right? He then gives me 1 pizza and I'm like, oh mate, sorry, we've ordered 2 pizzas. So I hand him everything back and he goes back into his car and he picks up the correct thing, gives us 2 pizzas, happy days. But someone nearby orders 1 singular large pizza and 2 large garlic and whatever the fuck they are called dips. And that's terrifying. I feel like I want a restraining order against that person. Like, they live near me and I don't want them to live near me. It's like an exclusion radius around schools, isn't it, for like paedophiles? Like, we should have that for that person at my house. It's quite dark and dull out today, isn't it? I'm back and I bought the case and the pencil for the iPad, and I was playing around with it yesterday as I was doing some stuff with Satisfactory. I was going to trial out the pencil because part of the reason why I got the small iPad was because I wanted to replace the Nexus. And I don't want a big, if I had a big iPad, I don't want a big iPad, I just want, instead of a bigger iPad, I'd rather have like a Surface, which is a proper computer, and I'd use it for proper computery things. And I think having got this, I'm glad I got the small one because like a bigger one I would have felt like was a bit of a waste. Teams is just sending me notifications. I'll start later on. But you can't tell when notifications start coming in on individual days. I don't understand why everyone like talks so much fucking like really hype up the pencil. They really hype it up as like the best kind of pen. It's no better than the Surface Pen. Like, in fact, I'd say the Surface Pen, this version of the Surface Pen that came with the Surface Book, is better, I would say. If this tech was designed like that, that would be perfect. I think just because it's got like, it's a bit more like, I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, don't believe the hype on the pencils, but it is a lot nicer to use with a pencil. It's just like it's not worth the money, the pencil. You know what I mean? Like, you could just get effectively a stylus, like you know, them old-fashioned stylus things. If you got a big one of them, that would be equally as good. But yeah, I've been playing around with it, been doing lots of like writing and stuff. The one issue I've found is because the pencil is obviously there, it means like actually opening up the case is quite difficult, especially when you flick it around, it magnetizes to the back, and it's like there's two things magnetized to the back. So like hitting the right thing to pull to open it is quite difficult, especially when the pencil's there blocking the way. There's my review. So far, haven't used, now I've got the case, I can like officially get rid of the Nexus, but I so far haven't used this to have a shave. I had a shave today, I used the Nexus still to watch a YouTube video while I was doing so. What I don't understand is these things are like, this is obviously like folds up, right? But if you fold it up this way, the magnets aren't as strong as if you fold it up that way. Like there's a proper click there. Right? Well, saying that, that's not that strong either. But then this is the way that it's like designed to go, I think. But this is the bit, this is like a soft felt that touches your screen. Whereas this is like a rubber. Why is it not this bit that's on the outside? So that when you stand it up, like it doesn't matter if you stand it up in something a little bit dirtier. If this gets dirtier, it's going to be a bitch to clean. Because it's like, you see what I mean? It's like a svelte. It's been a nitpick. A little nitpick McGee. But yeah, I feel like people give Apple a pass on things that aren't like, that's not as good as people make out. You know what I mean? Like the hype is way higher than the actual thing. But so far I'm enjoying it. So there we go. We'll see how it goes today with work. So far I haven't reused my paper notepad for home stuff. So I was doing some Satisfactory stuff yesterday, but that's about it. Today, I'm going to try not to use my work notepad. I'm going to have it because it has some of my old notes in. But this is my work notepad, and I'm going to try not to use it. I think I'm going to be surprised if I start using my iPad as like notebook replacement for work. That was the dream. We'll see if it pays off. It is something having the ability to like look at notes on both my computer and on the go, like especially if I'm on call. Maybe an iPad's probably easier to ship around than it is an actual notepad, but I don't know, it feels a lot, I'm obviously not used to writing on it yet, and it feels a lot messier and not necessarily like searchable in the same way that I kind of thought it would be. I thought you'd be able to search through notes on OneNote, even if they're handwritten. And for some reason, they stubbornly don't support the ink to text function, which is annoying. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I definitely like it for my own stuff, but obviously my own stuff isn't. I've got a system I'm quite like quick at taking notes when people are talking, and I'm like, you know what I mean, like on a piece of paper, and I'm trying to translate it. But writing small, I don't know why, but writing small enough on a screen is really hard to do. So you end up like zooming in so that you're writing bigger doesn't mean that you're writing just huge notes. And then it's obviously like you're limited on how much you can write because you're writing bigger, you know what I mean? Whereas if you had like an A5 piece of paper, you'd be able to write way more because you'd be writing smaller. That's the balance I'm trying to just strike up. But we'll see. We'll see if it's a win or a fail. We will have a look at that. Mr. Moo is just having just cleaning. Oh god, cleaning between his toes. He like sprays his toes out and gets his teeth and like proper grabs his nails. It's like, oh. Look how dark it is in the morning these days. I was at 3% battery. I upgraded to Windows 11 last night on my work machine. That's the first time I've ever upgraded a work machine ahead of my own machine. I was waiting for the Windows Update installer to... I didn't think you could just choose it. I thought you had to just kind of wait for it to give you. And I know they've had performance issues on AMD chips. So I assumed that they just like kind of paused the rollout for AMD. But nope. I did the bulk of the update. I managed to get into Windows 11 last night. but I'm on like restart number 10 as we set up Windows subsystem for Linux stuff. It's fucking crazy. It didn't fix my issue where one screen runs at a lower resolution than the other. That's sad. You know what, so far Windows 11 is pretty nice. There's a lot of weird stuff in there with like that they've like changed to make it look different, and I just put all that shit back. But so far, enjoy it. I like all the noises. The noises are nuts. Just like this weird, nice like whoomp noises coming from underneath the desk. But yeah, that was yesterday. We was fighting with the like security config, running Docker containers, and editing them and like debugging them and stuff in Windows 10 with all the security stuff we have, where we can't have the Windows subsystem for Linux. In Windows 11 we can, so we did the upgrade last night, and it's good. It's a bit cold today actually. I might have a hot water bottle. Stop. It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We've now like kind of hit the ground running again. I've got things to do and I'm like chipping through things, which is good. Good because I'm only going to do it for a couple more hours and then I'm logging off for the weekend, baby. Laura's in the office today. She was yesterday as well, to be fair. She's always in the office these days. It's remarkable how quick it's gone back to normal. Like, halfway through the pandemic lockdown stuff, Laura's like, well, I don't see why I ever need to go back into the office again. Like, I might go in like once a fortnight. And now she's in like 4 times a week and she's like, well, I just like go to the office. And it was like, I was the other way around, where I was like, I need to get in more. And I'm now like in less than I was even then, when I was like, I need to get in more. But I found the gym and stuff. It really bugs me that I didn't go to the gym yesterday, but it's life, innit? I've had dinner, ladies and gentlemen. The day is over. Been playing around with some Docker stuff, doing some like planning and whatnot. Playing a lot of Satisfactory recently. Played a lot of Satisfactory before dinner. Realised that I needed to go shopping to pick up some pasta. Just cooked for dinner and finished it, and now I'm coming back to do some more. Laura, I dare say, Laura's gone out for like a meal with the other people that she works with. So I ain't got nothing to do, boys. This is exactly the scenario where I'm like, I wish I had something more productive to do than just play games, but I'm enjoying playing those games. So it's a tough one, dog. It's a tough one. How else can I spend my time, you know? I just don't know. How do I want to spend my time? I just don't know. It's bedtime, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to end the video as well because 4K videos are a mistake and I don't want this to go too long. I'm going to get up tomorrow morning. We're going to the gym. Might not be going to the gym on Sunday because Laura's parents are coming down for Saturday evening, and therefore like I might not have time Sunday morning, and or might not we're going out for a meal, so might not be in a fit state. But otherwise, playing some Satisfactory. I think I'm doing quite well so far. Setting up a little factories at the moment. I kind of keep getting to more or less like this point and then kind of losing a goal. So we'll see if I carry on playing it. That might be what the inspiration I need to stop. But yeah, Laura came home. We chatted a bit about our days, and then Laura went to bed with a bit of a headache from the restaurant, and I just watched Black Mirror, and it's fucking depressing. More people need to make programs like Dark Mirror, where like just tragedies, like just where you just watch it and it just gets worse and worse and worse, you know? There's no fucking happy ending. It's just like, oh, there isn't enough TV like that. Fucking love it. Anyway, bedtime. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you later.